Next week on The Bold and the Beautiful, the walls close in on Grace as Brooke hits the open sea. Here's a look ahead at the episodes we'll see next week, from Monday, August 4th to Friday, August 8th, 2025. Next week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke continues to be on a roller coaster of emotions in Italy. After pouring her heart out to Ridge and realizing that being in Italy, where the K had so many special memories, it was too hard for her to bear knowing he was engaged to someone else. But that detail didn't stop Eric from encouraging both Brooke to hold on a little longer, and for Ridge to hurry up and make a decision he thought he'd already made. Ridge was holding onto his word to Taylor that he was committed to her and that he meant it this time. But when his dad tells him that Nick plans to propose to Brooke, it makes Ridge try to stop her. As he races to the marina, he's too late. Nick spots Ridge from the boat and turns up the throttle. With Brooke lounging on the boat deck, should he be traveling that fast? Meanwhile, is Ridge trying to stop them because he wants Brooke back? Or he just doesn't want her to fall for Nick while she's so vulnerable? Back in LA, Dr. Buckingham has a lot of explaining to do. Finn figures out that Grace's answers don't make sense, and he manages to get her to tell him the truth. Grace asks him to focus on the outcome and keep her secret, but Finn wants nothing to do with that. He brings Grace to see Liam and Hope and tells her to tell them the truth about Liam's brain cancer. Did he ever have it at all? Meanwhile, Lee is determined to keep Luna alive in her secret medical room that she has set up for her granddaughter. Will Luna wake up? And can Lee actually save her? Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily. Here, I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. B&B spoiler alert. Don't miss these must-see moments that will take place on The Bold and the Beautiful during the week of Monday, August 4th to Friday, August 8th, 2025. Eric warns Ridge that he must act fast to win Brooke back before it's too late. Finn continues to dig into Liam's case and confronts Grace. Finn accuses Grace. Nick prepares to propose to Brooke during a boat outing. Ridge races through Naples to stop. Nick Ridge makes a splashy save in the Mediterranean. Finn is stunned by Grace's confession. Both Lee and Sheila are surprised by their interaction. Grace's house comes crumbling down. In Italy, Brooke tells Ridge she can't stay. She has to leave. She doesn't know why she came to Capri with him. There are too many memories. He coaxes her to stay. Brooke complains that everywhere she turns, someone wants to take pictures of them. She has to answer question after question about him and Taylor and their ridiculous engagement. Well, screw you! She's going to run off with Nick and forget she ever met him. Ridge tells Brooke, "It's going to be okay." She says it's not. This was a mistake. Ridge says everyone is thrilled to see her. Brooke says Ridge isn't. Nick, meanwhile, wants to sweep her off her feet. It feels good to be wanted, like she's the only woman in the world. He looks at her with desire and passion, the way Ridge used to look at her. At the party, Eric tells Nick this is a private event. He says he's just looking for Brooke. Eric questions what it is exactly that he wants. He's on to him and his designs on Brooke. Nick confronts him for having Ridge and Taylor living in his house when he knows he's come there to get Brooke and Ridge back together again. Eric smirks. He won't deny that he wants Brooke with Ridge. His son is happier with her than with anyone else. Nick thinks that's bad news for his fiancée. He complains about Eric continually putting Brooke in situations with his son and dysfunctional family. Eric warns Nick to stay away from Brooke. Once alone, Nick spots Brooke and Ridge arguing by the water. Brooke tells Ridge she's in one of the beautiful places in the world with the man she loves, but she shouldn't be feeling this way. She is because they're not together. Nick appears and complains about Ridge making Brooke miserable. Ridge says this doesn't involve him. Nick argues that it does. He's stepping in. Ridge tells him he can go. Nick asks what Brooke wants. This is her chance to jump off the merry-go-round with his man once and for all. Holding out his hand, he says, "Come with me." Brooke takes Nick's hand and walks away with him. Ridge watches them go. At Forrester, in the design office, Electra and Will wish they could have gone to Italy. They look at the photos everyone's posting, and Will tells his girlfriend she should be there representing the company. She'd be the hottest model ever. She reminds him she designs jewelry. They kiss and go over how they'll never have to worry about Luna ever again. Sitting, Will and Electra go over how unhinged and dangerous Luna was. He shouldn't have been surprised she was capable of pulling a gun on him. They recap that he could have ended up shot too. Will says he's okay, and he never would have let Luna hurt her. Electra repeats that Luna is gone forever. They agree she brought this all upon herself. It's hard to believe she was related to someone like Finn. Will says the important thing is that everyone's safe and she's gone. They're allowed to feel good about that. At Il Giardino, Sheila tells Lee she wants to say goodbye to her granddaughter. She loved her. She misses her. Where can I go to do that? Lee? Lee tries to give her the brush off and just wants her takeout. Sheila wants to know, where is she? She reminds Lee she's not the enemy and tried to help her. Lee snaps. There's nothing you can do for her now. They bicker as Sheila explains she urged Luna to leave Finn alone and move on with her future. She's grieving the woman she could have been. Lee snaps that she's not doing this with her and leaves her appetite, storming out. Deacon appears and asks Sheila if she found out anything about Luna. She muses, "No." Deacon asks Sheila if she set Lee off. Sheila explains she wouldn't answer her questions. She can't let that go. Deacon asks what happened. Sheila says, she wouldn't answer me. They go over the shooting. Sheila protests that Luna just lost control. Sheila says she and Lee are both grieving. All she asked was to visit her granddaughter to pay her final respects to her. Lee just got all huffy with her. Deacon wonders if she resents it like she does with Sheila and Finn. Sheila says no. She can't put her finger on it, but something is very off with Lee. Deacon points out it's a weird situation for everyone given Luna was a violent criminal. Maybe a part of her is relieved. Sheila's not at all and wonders why Lee is keeping her in the dark when she just wants to say goodbye to her. They had a connection, and she cared about her. She feels like she knows what drove Luna to do these things. Deacon warns that's not something you bond over. Sheila insists she had a good side too. She saw it, and it reminded her of her son. Luna was smart, ambitious, and funny. She flashes to hugging Luna, and the two of them sharing laughs. Sheila laments that she's gone, and nothing anyone can do will change that. At Lee's place, Luna lies unconscious, hooked up to tubes and monitors. Lee arrives and finds there's no change with her granddaughter. She coaxes, "Come on, Luna." She looks like the little girl she remembers. The little girl with so much potential. What happened to her? How can you look so peaceful after causing so much pain? She coos, "Open your eyes, Luna." Lee urges Luna to hold on and fight. She laments that she never really had a chance in life being raised by her horrible sister. Stability and chaos is all she's ever known, until now. She's sorry she wasn't more involved in her life, but now she's there with her. I won't let you die. Destiny's Child was added again on The Bold and the Beautiful this week, as the swarm known as the Brooke Logan Fawn Club circled Taylor on one continent and Nick on the other. Meanwhile, Ridge remembered the Italian keyhole to his heart 2 years ago. But is he too late just because Brooke has noise-canceling earbuds? Let's dig in and find out. Yes, The Bold and the Beautiful was absolutely, stunningly beautiful this week, but we're still not sure where the soapy drama was hiding. For nearly 40 years, we have watched Brooke pine for Ridge in various European locations with the same results each and every time. We know this isn't going to be any different, especially when it was all the same players. Kinda. Okay, so Nick hasn't been in the picture for quite a while, but you can still substitute Bill for a Brooke lover who has begged her to choose him because he loved her and only her. Or so they all say. They never really mean it, but that's the premise we have to work with after this week. Ridge waffles back and forth between Brooke and Taylor. Eric begs his son to have sex with his ex-wife. Rinse, repeat. That is where we are at now. And where we have been so many times before. It's just taking place in a different part of Italy from where we were 2 years ago. And they had to take a boat ride to get there. A speedboat ride, to be exact. With Ridge steering the boat, wearing his Sunday best while not getting wet. Which is quite a feat in a speedboat. All Grandma Brooke could do was gaze lovingly at Grandpa Ridge while laughing at, we are not sure what, because all we could hear was Nat King Cole. Ah, the memories. Once Brooke and Ridge made it to the Isle of Capri, the Italian press oohed and awed at, well, again, we are not quite sure what. And they had to know, just had to know, all about Brooke and Ridge's love life and how that pesky Taylor Hayes fit in. Brooke couldn't take it anymore. It was all too much, so she ran off in dramatic soap fashion, and Ridge chased after her in equally dramatic soap fashion. Brooke did all the talking, lamenting her sad and tragic plight of being the odd woman out, while Ridge goes off and plays house with Taylor over a misunderstanding. To her credit, Brooke is right about this. One little argument, and where is Ridge? In bed with Taylor within minutes. That right there should be enough for both Brooke and Taylor to show this man the door as they did 2 years before. But nope. Instead, we have Ridge asking Brooke not to leave Italy, with Eric doing his best to make sure that Nick left Brooke alone. In this high school hijinks movie scenario, Eric is the BFF sidekick who serves no other purpose than to get the protagonists together. Nick would be the antagonist, at least in Eric's delusional eyes. Eric didn't get the job done, and Nick approached Brooke and Ridge. To prove a point, Brooke took Nick's hand and walked off with him. But for some reason, we have no idea what happened next because B&B chose not to tell us. The next day, it didn't appear that Brooke and Nick had done anything substantial after they walked off. Brooke was alone in her hotel room, staring into space and thinking about Ridge, her favorite morning coffee activity, no matter where she is. We think she was even in a good mood because she put in some earbuds and started bopping along to some tunes, causing her to miss Ridge knocking at her door. Oh no, the soap opera near miss, all because Brooke likes music. Even the sidekick was ready for work when he spotted Nick with an engagement ring and looked like he was ready to jump over the rails and into the ocean to stop Nick from ever proposing to Brooke. Because if he can't have Brooke, then his son must. He just has to live with the consolation prize. Her sister, Donna. Before the week ended, we were treated to a whole montage reliving Bridges' 2023 trip to Rome, cannons, keyholes, Andrea Bockley, and all. If Brooke and Ridge both recall the keyhole of destiny, then surely destiny is about to come calling again, for better or worse. So hold on, the consolation prize and her sidekick, Katie, were hard at work in Los Angeles at making Taylor feel like poo. While Donna was a little nicer about it than her kid sister, both women had to make sure to tell Taylor that Brooke and Ridge belonged together, and it was only a matter of time before she was left out in the cold once again. Frankly, they were rude. And they were also quite right. There is absolutely zero doubt that Taylor is going to end up with broken heart syndrome once again. But this time, she might want to stay away from Grace Buckingham, or she might end up with unnecessary brain surgery. Liam is back, and he's feeling better than ever. In fact, it's as if he never had a brain tumor at all, much less was just shot in the chest by his ex-wife's unhinged granddaughter. Bridget and Finn are so very perplexed about how this could be. And why does Liam have an incision on the side of his head that looks like a paper cut? Finn might want to start asking questions if he can pin Grace down. We have our own questions, so Grace better start talking. Yep, Luna is alive, as we have known all along. While Brooke and Ridge are up to their old tricks in Italy, Lee is up TP'd her own old tricks in LA, keeping Luna alive in what appears to be her apartment or a hotel suite. We can't quite tell, but we might have finally entered Luna's successful redemption arc era, since last year's was a failure of epic proportions.